Namo here. Today we're going to continue the series on Volcanicus with the last of the individual bots. And he is the biggest, because he's the Voyager, where everyone else was a deluxe. Much like how everything was with Combiner Wars, Power of the Primes, it all just followed the same formula. Deluxe figures for the limbs, Voyager class figures for the body. Here with my Volcanicus chest or torso, I put the extra Power of the Prime shield hand things in these holes in his armpit to fill out the waist, because he's awful tiny. But we'll get more into that when we get into the actual combined mode, which will be the next part of the series. Now, let me go ahead and get on this now, because this is part of the transformation. I do not like their little idea for his head. Folding away, everything fits nicely. All slides in there, all nice and fine. This will fold back down, but having this little notch right there and tab right there, and just having to fold everything together until it lines up and connects, it's kind of a pain. I mean, kind of wish they did it just a little bit better, had a little better of a connection. Granted, it is strong. I can do it's really just leaning up on each other like this. It's tensioned. It won't flop down. But if you barely even, and it just all folds in, it's what it is. So I don't like it. I think they could have done a little bit better. As we've said before, they've made a lot of sacrifices to give these guys their combined mode. So let's go ahead and get him into robot mode. Flip the little flap up. Stupid piece. And we flip it back down once we tuck the head in. Flip that down. And we're actually going to pop the Dinobot head up. Unpeg right here. Unpeg these back wings. We're going to fold out the arms and the hands. Same on this side. Fold out the arms, flip out the hands. They will rotate up, but we unplug here at the bottom. We flip the waist around, and then we actually plug everything into the torso. Now this little cod piece, fold it up, and mine's a little stiff in that joint, but it folds down, and then this peg fits into that hole, and it's done. So now we just flip the feet forward, and then just fix his arms, and there we have Grimlock in robot mode. And honestly, I think he has a really nice looking robot mode. There was a lot of people complaining when he first was released of how big and barrel chested he is. Thin waist, thin legs, or thin thighs, I should say. Long, spindly arms that are, I mean, I just said spindly, so yeah, they're a bit thin here, a bit thick in the forearms. And then kind of a tiny little itty bitty head. But like I said, they had to make sacrifices to be able to throw in the combined mode. And I still think he looks good. I still think he holds up. I think he holds up very well. Even compared to him. this is Studio Series 86 Grimlock, a miniature masterpiece, as everyone dubs it. He is really good, but you can tell the difference in the proportions. Grimlock 86 Grimlock is not as thin in the arms. They are bulky and properly proportioned. He's not as thin in the waist and thighs. He's properly proportioned. He has the right colors and markings on his feet, on his chest. His head is the proper proportion. But he's still, for what it's worth, for the sacrifices they made, he is still a good Grimlock. In my opinion, I think he's good. Swoop, Grimlock, and Slash. We can throw in Snarl. Snarl was pretty good too. A little bit weird in the proportions, but yeah. Those would be my recommendations if you're going to seek out the Power of the Primes Dinobots. Grimlock, Swoop, possibly Snarl, and Slash. Slash is really good, even though she doesn't combine with them. There are fan modes that do it. I don't think she needs to. She's good on her own, so yeah, I still think he's really good. Maybe it's just me. I still think he's really good. But let's go ahead and get him into robot mode, because there's where a few other of the complaints about him stem from. So we're just going to stretch out his arms, get them all straightened out. Here in the legs, we're just going to snap them together and fold his tail down. And we're going to just angle it up at his knees. Then we split his chest, fold it down, and connect them. My Grimlock, these two pegs do not like to hold. They don't like to hold at all. See, they keep you can see they keep popping open. They just don't hold. So we're going to fold his wings around and clamp them in. We're going to fix his little arms. And this piece tabs into that on his neck to secure it, and a lot of times it folds up with him, which wants to pull his combiner head out, but just gotta fold it back in, hold it down while you plug his head in. Alright, and there is Grimlock in Dino mode, and again, I think it's a really good representation of Grimlock. Let me hold it like this so my hand's not covering him up. Yes, he has a strange tail. People complained about this little lip on his tail. The toes of his feet for robot mode stick out, and that was a complaint. The combiner ports making his forearm for robot mode and his ankle for Dino mode incredibly thick, while the hip and bicep region are incredibly thin. But he has front teeth, whereas he does not. He doesn't have any. That was a complaint about the Studio Series 86 version, is he doesn't have front teeth. But, I mean, other than the weirdness of his tail and the oddity of his legs, it's still a good Dino mode Grimlock. I like it. And a lot of people are probably going to be like, oh, it's so terrible. It's just so... Yeah, compare it to this. Yeah, it's not really that great. I mean, he's kind of small. He's very tiny. He's oddly proportioned. But this was, at the time, the definitive Grimlock. And his tiny little arms are just so cute. So cute. I like him. I think he's awesome. Granted, his torso mode for Volcanicus is kind of trash. But if you're just going to get him for robot mode and dino mode, yeah, he definitely hits the mark. He's a little on the small side. I mean, now we have this guy, so you can go get him instead if you want the, more cleaner aesthetic. But if you are trying to make a Grimlock collection, then he's kind of a must. So, I like him. I think he does the job. I think he looks good. And he's got enough playability and posability in all his modes that he's fun. He's absolutely fun. Can't say the same with Sludge. Slug's okay. But seriously, he's worth it. Swoop is worth it. Slash is worth it for sure. They're all decent in Dino mode, and put them together in Dino mode, display them together in Dino mode, they look great. I think they look really good. So, it's your collection. It's what you want to add into your collection. I really like the Power of the Prime Dinobots. I really like how they look in Dino mode. I like how a few of them look in robot mode. And my opinion on their combined mode, we'll have to wait till the next episode. So, until that comes out, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the description, and the handle is at the very end of the video. Like, share, subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.